Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So we talk a lot about California gun control here on this channel. One, because I used to live there, and two, because, well, it's pretty much the worst state for these laws in the entire country. Now, we talk about the bills as they come out, we talk about the laws as they're signed, but I think over time, people kind of forget about the totality of everything in California and what Californians have to go through. So I went ahead and created a list, an entire list of all the gun control laws in the state of California. Now we're talking about state laws, we're not talking about county ordinances or city laws or anything like that. These are California state laws. Now it's possible that I could have missed something, so if I do miss a law that you're aware of that's a state law, leave that down in the comment section and you can go ahead and add to this list. So if you're somebody who is being transferred to California, visiting California, moving to California, or maybe you're just a resident who wants to know what the complete list is, or you just want your mind blown, stay tuned because this list is yeah, check it out. Now, before we get started, I noticed there's a huge percentage of people out there who watch these videos but are not subscribed. If you wouldn't mind, take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit that little bell notification and stay on top of your Second Amendment rights. And also, check out the main sponsor of this channel, which is the USCCA. With your USCCA membership, you get things like self-defense liability insurance, reciprocity maps, online education and training, and a lot more. It's the best membership you could ever have in your wallet. So if you carry to defend yourself, I suggest you have a USCCA membership. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to this list. So I'm not going to elaborate too much on each one of these because if I did, we'd be here for the next 48 hours. And a quick disclaimer for those people that have been born and raised in free states. If you have, you might want to sit down while you watch this, or you may end up sitting down by the end of it involuntarily anyway. So let me go ahead and get to the list. Starting off with registration. Everything in California has to be registered. Everything that you get, everything new, all has to be registered. There's also no private party transfers. An FFL and a background check is required for everything. And with that background check, you're also going to have registration. So that's even a private party. You have 10-day waiting period. So once you go in and you complete everything, you have to wait 10 days before picking anything up. Now, along with the background checks, the original ones, there's also ammunition background checks. So you have to pay a small fee and go through a bunch of hoops, and they do a background check on that as well. And there's a bunch of information that they have to provide about the sale to the government as well. There is no open carry. So if you're a proponent of open carry, forget about that. There is also an assault weapons ban in the state of California, which is really just based around aesthetics and features. Quite a few states have those, but California's is one of the most strict. There's a ban on all NFA items, so it doesn't matter if you want to just go through the process and register it and get a tax stamp and wait your 6 months to a year. You know, it doesn't matter. You can't even begin the process in the state of California because they're just outright banned. So there is no NFA in California. You also have the roster. If you live in California, you know what the roster is. It's basically a list of things that are certified for sale by the state of California, which basically means that Californians have to pick and choose from the arms that they want that the rest of the country gets without any problems whatsoever, meaning that everything that you get in California is pretty much old generation models of stuff. You also have to get a safety certificate in the state of California. So prior to filling out your 4473 or doing your background check, you actually have to take a test. And that test basically assesses how well you know the safety of things, and then they give you a little card, and once you have that little card, you can present it and go, through the rest of the steps there. So you need a safety certificate. Restrictions on travel. Okay, there's a lot of restrictions on travel in California. Things need to be in a locked container, unloaded. There's sometimes it has to be mounted permanently to the vehicle. If not, it has to be showing, or it has to be in the trunk. You can't put anything in the glove box. If you do, it's like a $1,000 fine and a whole bunch of other things. So there's a lot of restrictions on travel if you do not have your permit in the state of California, and that one can get pretty in-depth as well. There's safe storage laws in California. As a matter of fact, they have to provide you with the locks. Sometimes you have to show an affidavit that you have, or sign an affidavit that says that you have a safe or safe storage at home. There's quite a few hoops that you have to jump through when it comes to safe storage there as well. They have capacity bans in California. So basically anything that can hold more than 10 rounds in the state of California is banned unless it was from Freedom Week or it was from the pre-ban stuff that's currently in litigation. A lot of this stuff is currently in the court system right now, and people are trying to fight back against it. But again, you have that LCM ban right there. There's also a 1 in 30 days ban, which is basically rationing. You can only get one every 30 days. As a matter of fact, you can only fill out 144.73 in 30 days. So it kind of works out more like 40 because you wait your 30 days and then you can get another one, but then there's still a 10-day waiting period after that. So even though it's 1 in 30 is the law, it works out to be more like 1 in 40. There's also micro-stamping requirements. For anything to get on the roster, it has to have micro-stamping in multiple locations that would stamp a little serial number or some type of identifying number on stuff. That was actually something that was done by Schwarzenegger, but didn't take effect until later on. I believe it actually took effect under Jerry Brown in California. But you have micro-stamping. There's a ban on all 50 BMG. Okay, so 50 BMG banned in California outright. Oh yeah, also there is a ban on ammunition importing. So if you went to another state and you went to a competition or training or something like that, right? And let's say you have 75 rounds left. You can't bring that back in the state of California. That would be illegal importation. You can only bring 50 or less back with you in the state of California. So there's that as well. They also have red flag laws, which are used quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I recently did a video where just San Diego County alone had, in just the last, I think, few years, 5 years maybe, San Diego County alone issued over 900 red flag orders. So GVROs. Let me see here. Oh yeah, so basically anything that's home built, right, that's not serialized is banned in the state of California. It used to be fine. As a matter of fact, I think even just like 3 years ago, it was okay. They were trying to stop it at that time, but now, as of today, anything home built that's not serialized is outright banned. You have to go through a background check, has to have a serial number, and it has to be registered. There's no reciprocity in California. So there's other states that might recognize California's permits, but California doesn't recognize anybody else. So if you're traveling to California from any other state and you have a permit and you're wondering whether or not that permit's good in California, it's not good in California. California does not recognize anybody else's regardless of what they require. They also recently banned any marketing to minors. They have a 21 and over law, which basically means that if you're 18, 19, or 20, you can't get anything. Now, there's some loopholes to that as far as like having, like a hunter safety certificate or a hunting license or things for people who are 18, 19, and 20. But again, it's basically 21 over in the state of California. So next, if you're moving to California, pay specific attention to this one, because any new resident has to report anything that was brought in from another state to the California Department of Justice within 60 days. Now, if it's not approved and on that approved list, it has to be surrendered, sent out of state, or, turned into an FFL within that 60-day period. But if it falls within California's laws, then it still has to be registered, and you still have to go through all of the standard steps that people who live there would if they were getting something new. So if you're moving into California, there's a 60-day period where they want you to tell them about all of the stuff that you have. There's 10-year prohibitions for misdemeanors. So that basically means that you lose your rights for 10 years in the state of California. Also, there's mental health reporting. So if you go somewhere because you want some help, right, and the person that you're talking to decides that, well, this falls into this category or what he said here falls into that category, they are required by law to report that to the government. Now, the last couple ones that I have here are, one, you cannot, without a permit, a special permit that not very many people get, travel into the state of California with a long gun that's banned in California. So it has to comply with state law. Also, if you live in the state of California and you decide to make something without a serial number and somebody reports you, that person that reported you, if there is a conviction in that case, will get rewarded for it. Now, I made this list off memory, so if there's anything that I forgot, please leave it down in the comment section. You can expand on the list yourself. But there's one thing I want you to remember is that each one of these things that I read, if you were to expand it, you would find a lot more rules and regulations and, different things about each one of those. Like I said before, we'd be here for the next 48 hours straight just talking about this stuff because, again, each one expanded covers so much more. It's a lot more broad than just the simple list that I read you. Now, also keep in mind that these things pretty much change on a weekly basis out there. You just never know what to expect. So if you are somebody who is moving there or lives there and wants more information, most of this stuff is available on the California Department of Justice website, and you can go ahead and check these out and make sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, because they really do make you jump through hoops over there, and that's why everybody says that it leads the nation, because it absolutely does. There might be small things that are here and there that are worse, like the FOID card in Illinois, and the card that they have in New Jersey I think is worse than some things, but overall, just looking at everything again in its totality, California is absolutely the worst. So I wanted to share that information with you guys, and I want to thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully this stuff will all get overturned in time, and hopefully the people that do live in free states, born and live in free states, will still support the good people of these states getting their rights back. And I want to thank you all very much again. Have a great day.